Do you like sports? Do you like sports? Do you like sports? Welcome back. This is episode 5 of the Let's Talk About It podcast. I'm your host, Don. And this is the Bears versus Lions recap. Bears win today, 24-14. Justin Fields gets his first win as an NFL starter. First of many. And the Bears are back now at 500. They're 2-2. Going into their game next Sunday against the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. And it was a great bounce back game, especially coming from last week with the 9 sacks and the record-setting horrible offense and everything that the media was saying. So let's talk about it. Bears start off by winning the coin toss. And if you think about it, you would never expect they want to receive the ball. So that instantly puts all the confidence on the offense. Obviously, the offense is going to be very excited to go on the field and give Justin Fields that little boost of, here we go, let's go. It starts with you, it ends with you. And you noticed it very early, the play calls, and it goes straight to that. Because all of a sudden you see the Bears' first drive. First drive goes 12 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown. David Montgomery feeding him the ball, and it starts and ends with him. You get the man started. That's your bell cow. You set the tone with that man, and he had a heck of a game. Proud of him. He did get hurt later in the game. I did see an encouraging tweet from him saying that God is everything, and He's amazing. So fingers crossed that he will be okay, because we all know we could use a player like that. But going back to that first drive, it goes from the run to set up for the play action, and made it easy throws for Justin Fields just to get into a rhythm and keep it moving. Justin Fields didn't do nothing too crazy. 12 for 18. I see a lot of stats saying 11 for 17. He was 12 for 18, 209 yards. He did have an interception. It was off a deflected ball at the line. Darnell Mooney was wide open. So a stat is a stat. That's going to go down as an interception. But as far as going back to the eye test, what you're watching, what are you seeing when you're watching the game? It was something that could be easily fixed, easily made adjustments to, as far as a ball being deflected at the line. Darnell Mooney, again, was wide open. And as far as things that I saw, they just kept feeding Montgomery the ball early. The first drive, to me, equaled perfection. That needs to be our identity for the rest of this season. And if we play that brand of football, we're going to be a hard team to beat. We get the ball, we go 12 plays, we score, give our defense a chance with us having a lead. I'm sure they could appreciate that. First drive for Detroit, something that I'm noticing with our defense. And then I came to find out Akeem Hicks went out first play. I hope he's all right. He's a big deal on our defense. But Detroit goes on 11 play, 55 yards. Luckily, Jared Goff is straight basura, straight trash, and he folds under pressure. You know what I'm saying? He gets tight when it gets real. Shout out to our fans. They showed up with the home field advantage and everything. Yeah, Jared Goff goes to make an audible. Their Pro Bowl center snaps the ball, bounces off his arm into Bilal Nichols' hands. I'll take it, I'll take it. Another bright thing that I see from the defense, Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn had another sack, had another strip sack. Khalil Mack with another sack. Roquan Smith had a sack. We're being active and we're doing these things. D had 3 straight drives into our 10-yard line. So they're in the red zone. And I don't know if it's because Dan Campbell, he just wants to, he wants to get his team excited with touchdowns. Like he doesn't want to settle for the field goals, but I feel like early in that game, you take the points, but he kept going for it. We kept stopping him. So kudos and shout out to our defense by making those stops. We've had a lot of stops, we had a lot of stops. We've done a lot of good things this season so far in these first 4 games, regardless of the 2-2 record. Defense has showed out. And if we could get an offense like how we look today, we have a great chance of doing what we got to do to get into the postseason and giving ourselves a real chance at doing what the big goal is, which is winning the Super Bowl. So we get the big turnover on defense. Offense keeps driving. Second drive of the game. 6 plays, 89 yards. Had the ball for 3 minutes. So we're dominating time of possession. We're doing what we have to do. Again, shout out to Bill Lazor, just getting us in the right position. I did watch the post-game press conference with Matt Nagy. He kind of treated a couple reporters who kept on trying to ask him about the play calling, but like the man said, it runs through them. Supposedly they sit down at the table. I know I seen one of the little videos they uploaded. They do have a big, little office table and they have their meetings, so it could be a combination of everybody's opinion, and I can respect that because that's how you do it. It's a team effort. This isn't a single man sport. So that's what we got to keep in the back of our mind. But as far as Bill Lazor, he called a hell of a game. And I am very excited to see where this goes. We go to our next game is at Vegas. I think the Raiders are frauds. I think we could beat them in Vegas, to be honest. Hopefully we can stay healthy on the defense. And I have no doubt about it that we could definitely win that. We're not going to London to play them. We're not dealing with all that. We're going to Vegas. It's a business trip. We're getting locked in. And then after them is Green Bay. After them is Tampa. And then that's where it gets real. And we're going to see who the real Chicago Bears are. I'm excited. I'm very excited. As far as the rest of the game goes, another thing that I seen I didn't like, referees I don't think they were good today. Not trying to be one of those, but honestly, from the first foul on Roquan Smith, yeah, I guess you could say, oh, he touched him, but you could also have that be a no call. It's not like it was super blatant. It was mad crazy, nothing like that. The Khalil Mack roughing the passer, yeah, did he make contact with him? Okay, but come on, man, cut it out. These penalties. So the final score is 24-14. These penalties could have made it a 35-7, 31-14 game. These calls for Detroit just kept it going. If anything, would have had these 2 touchdowns. I believe these penalties, just continued the drive. And, Sean Desai's going to get better and better each week with this play call. He's going to get more familiar with position. And I trust him. I trust him. So you got the late flag on Roquan. And you got the bad call on Khalil Mack. We do get another defensive stop with Ogletree. Ogletree has a pass deflect to, I believe, Goff was throwing the ball to Swift against Deion Bush. Alec Ogletree. Mind you, shout out Danny Trevathan. I don't know. You are our Super Bowl champion on our defense, but Ogletree's playing some great football. I believe he led the Bears in tackles today. And he's playing great coverage defense, and he's active. So I like what I see from Ogletree, and to be honest, I'm not tripping on Danny Trevathan. I'm not out here looking like when is Danny Trevathan coming back, because Ogletree's playing the position very well, and even from last year, you've seen a lot of suspect defense by Danny Trevathan. I'm not saying it wasn't because of his injury. I'm not saying he's garbage by any means. He's a stud. But right now, I feel like this defense has the chemistry right now with Alec Ogletree accompanying Roquan Smith as those inside linebackers. Also, today was the season debut of Eddie Goldman. He didn't do anything really that splashed off on the television when you watch the game. Detroit had a I wouldn't even say average running game. You know, it was okay. Wasn't nothing crazy. It was Eddie Goldman's first game. But the thing about Eddie Goldman, what he does is he unlocks it for everybody on their defensive line. So Robert Quinn had a strip sack today. You got other guys coming through the defensive line because Eddie Goldman goes up one, two, even three blockers, you know? I'll say two every down. Everybody got to get double team almost every time. He's a big human being. But I'm happy he had a good game. It was clean. He didn't get hurt. So it's just one game. And I'm excited to see where they go from there. As far as like the end of the first half, Justin Fields throws that interception that was deflected by the defensive line. So that's where that interception happened. As far as the second half, things that bounced off and I seen that caught my eye. Duke Shelley, I see a lot of people were complaining about Duke Shelley getting beat in coverage. I think Duke Shelley's been playing solid at the start. You got to remember Marquette Christian was getting demolished the game against the Rams. He gave up huge plays. Duke Shelley didn't do that. Duke Shelley actually made a play on third down. Hell of a play, diving deflection on a guy who it looked like he was wide open. You know, he made the play. So kudos to him. I'm excited as far as the Jalen Johnson, Kendall Vildor, Duke Shelley, Eddie Jackson, and right now Deion Bush. I'm not too happy. I'm not big on the Deion Bush. Deion Bush had another blown coverage today. I would like for him to get it together, you know. Like the thing I liked about Deion Bush was he was a hard hitter from Miami, you know. But from what I've seen so far, his best plays have came on special teams. So with this Tashawn Gibson injury, I really hope that he could come back because I'm not too comfortable with Deion Bush back there. Or all I can hope for as a fan is that he gets more comfortable in the position when he goes back and watches the film. He can see where he could get better, and he could develop quickly because we're gonna need that. You know, that strong safety position is big on this Bears defense. I don't want to see Eddie Jackson blitzing. Like that's not Eddie Jackson's role. If anything about Deion Bush, I'd rather see Deion Bush blitzing. Put DeAndre Houston Carson, put DHC back there, see what he could do because he always makes plays. So that's and I'm nitpicking at that with Deion Bush, but I do we have high expectations at that strong safety position, and that's been a void since the Adrian Amos departure when he went to Green Bay. Unfortunately, we didn't want to pay him, so we're still kind of kicking ourselves with that. And towards the end of the game, Justin Fields making big time throws. Great play calls by Bill Lazor, and I hope he gets very comfortable. Again, during the press conferences, I heard that Justin said he told him about the plays that he liked the most, and it looked like it. Man had a solid game. 12 for 18, 209 yards. It wasn't nothing too crazy. We're not having him drop back 40 times, 30 times, 35 times. Nowhere even close. He didn't even drop back 20 times. Do I want him to get a little bit more yards? Of course. But if we could run the ball how we ran the ball today, I'm fine with it because you can't beat that. That's a winning style of football. It's hard nosed. It's not like, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals or some high voltage offense, but it's a winning brand of football. And going back to, David Montgomery does go down. I saw Damian Williams came in. He showed great production off the bench. And then I seen him limping off. I think he had a quad injury, if I'm not mistaken. So now it's what? Khalil Herbert, the rookie. So I'm hoping, speaking of running backs, that Tariq Cohen, he said he's supposed to come back for week 7. I think week 7 is against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's looking like we might need him sooner than later. So I'm hoping he could get into game shape and be a force on this offense, with Justin Fields. Justin Fields looked incredible. He kept that first game ball. He deserves it. The Bears win. I'm sure Club Dub was rocking at Soldiers Field. We're 2-0 so far, so that home field advantage is looking very, very good. Now, as far as next week, we do got the Raiders, and then we got the Packers. So I'm eager to see what happens, in the next coming of days, of seeing how severe the injury is with David Montgomery, seeing how severe the injury is with Akeem Hicks, and hopefully Damian Williams is okay, because he did look pretty decent. He looked very dynamic, making explosive plays, kind of looked like Le'Veon Bell back at the Steelers, very patient, hitting the holes. Offensive line came back, looked solid. And that's the thing too, when you're running the ball, you're the aggressor. You're not in pass pro, letting these guys just pin their ears back and hitting you with their best move. Like, you get to go initiate the contact with them. And it's that rough style of football that's kind of going more extinct in the NFL now that they're going more to these fast-paced tempo college offenses. So this run style, again, if we can keep it going, I love it. Now, before I do anything else, make sure you go and like this and subscribe, and you can follow us at Sports Talk Chi-Town. That's on our Facebook page. We also have the Sports Talk Chi-Town Instagram page. Also have the website sportstalkchitown.com. Pretty soon here, all of these episodes I will be moving to the website. So make sure you stay tuned. Comment below if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any requests of things you'd like me to talk about. We'll do a mailbag. You can also send me that mailbag of your guys' questions. I'll answer them on the next podcast we have. And it's starting to get juicy, guys. It's starting to get very exciting. The Bears are on top. Tuesday's the first preseason game of the Chicago Bulls. I just seen the Blackhawks had a preseason game yesterday. The White Sox are about to be in the playoffs. So expect I'm gonna drop some more content, more episodes coming soon. We're not gonna be just doing this every Sunday, I'm gonna be having a preseason preview with the Chicago Bulls with our revamped roster. And it's very exciting. It's very electric here in the city with these Bulls. You see these highlight videos, Lonzo Ball hitting them with no lugs, Steph Curry spinning threes, DeRozan, Ayo Dosunmu, Zach LaVine. It's very exciting. As far as the White Sox go, these guys are hot. So we're also going to do the postseason preview of the Chicago White Sox versus the Houston Astros. So keep an eye out on those things. They're going to be out this week. Yeah, we're not playing. We're going to work. We're locking in, So again, have any questions? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Comment below. Ask me any question. You can also send your question to sportstalkchietown@gmail.com. I'll be sure to answer your question on my next podcast, my next episode of the Let's Talk About It podcast. So that's today's recap of the Bears game. Bears are 2-2. We're back at 500. Hopefully the media doesn't keep going crazy talking about Fire Nag. You got to give him his credit. He made the executive decision of giving up play calling. That's not an easy thing to do sometimes. You got some guys full of pride, and they might put their ego first. The man put his pride to the side and put the team first. So that's very commendable. You got to tip your hat to that, and it benefited. It paid off. Again, you look at these highlights. You're looking at the NFL Red Zone, and the Bears are just coming out, marching down the field. It's night and day to what we've been seeing. So very happy to see that. And again, basketball's coming, postseason baseball's coming in October. So you guys keep an eye out on that. And until next time, I'm your host, Don. You guys have a good one. You made it to the end. Thank you. I appreciate it. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I said,